Hey boys, so I promised this video like a couple days ago, and then I just kind of forgot. Um, Whoops. Hey boys, so we had an influx of new subs from the last video, which was cool. I really enjoyed it. If you're new here, thank you. But everyone, for some reason, since it's a lot of people's first time on my channel, they don't know my build, and they don't realize that I have the other build video up. And oh god damn it. But yeah, as I was saying, a lot of the new people don't realize that I have the build video up, and it's changed slightly from that video, so I might as well just go ahead and do a remake real quick. If you just care about the build, I'll go over it quick, like 1 minute, and then I'll spend a little more time explaining like the reasons for why I run certain things based on that. So first of all, if you're looking for just the build, the lightweight M4 is Unforgiving, Vicious, and Responsive in the last slot. Your showstopper is going to be Unforgiving, Vicious. All these will be crit chance, crit damage mods with extended mags and shit like that. The showstopper, however, instead of a will have a reload speed hand stop instead of a crit damage hand stop, and I'll explain that why. This is not God roll. Meticulous is not supposed to be there, but it would be Determined last slot, and then Predatory and Sustained would be the two you would want on here. For the chest, you're going to want Exotic Damage, Resilience, Stamina, Health, Ammo Capacity, which is what you have here, and then you're going to want EDR mods. So go try and get some Exotic Damage, Resilience. Mines are not God roll, but if you can get some God roll ones, go for it. Alright. Mask. Stamina, Exotic Damage, Resilience. Minor attribute can kind of vary, but like I just have Blind Death Resistance. Obviously that's not the best, but you know, it's decent enough. And then of course another Exotic Damage, Resilience mod. We have health and firearms on my knee pads. This will give you the 4K firearms instead of 10K. Bleed, burn, blind. That's not God roll. You would probably want burn, shock, and disrupt. Would probably be your God roll here. However, mine are not God roll. Again, stamina mod, and then our first performance mod will be pulse duration. Exotic damage resilience. So, stamina, people argue with me about this. They say you should go health here instead of crit damage. Both work. If you go for health, you're not going to be hurting your build. You're not going to be hurting your DPS too much. So, if you would like to go ahead, again, our EDR and then pulse crit damage and crit chance mods. Obviously, they're not maxed out because I don't have any good ones. The gloves are going to be standard, you know, stamina, assault rifle, crit chance, crit damage. No one's surprised there. And then the 4% crit chance because, and I'll explain the reasoning why I do that there. And then, of course, a pulse crit chance mod. So, that's your build. Oh, shit, I guess I'll show these real quick. I mean, you don't really need them, you know. Like, it's pretty standard, like, it's pretty standard on what everyone's gonna actually run. Some people argue me about the crit damage site instead of crit chance. I do crit chance, but up to you. You know, this will give you these stats. Obviously, it's stuck on the, hold on. This will give you these stats with your AR, right here. Stuff like that. Your things are gonna be what you see in my videos, Pulse Scrambler, and then you're gonna get your box, and then your green link, obviously. Talents are going to be Adrenaline, no surprise. Critical save, no surprise. Precision, I'll explain that in a minute. And on the move, no surprise. Okay. That is, that's it. That's the entire build. So if that's all you're here for, great. Just feel free to screenshot everything, and you can just copy paste it. If you'd like explanations on why I run certain things, you can stick around a little longer, and I will go explain that right now. Alright, hey, we're back in the terminal because I was getting tired of dealing with NPCs. Anyways, explanations. So, the gun, lightweight. Unforgiving, Vicious, Responsive. So originally in the original build, it was Competent. I will explain to you why it changed. Competent was very good, and it's still good. If you want to run Competent in this last slot, go for it. It's still a good option. No doubt. However, the reason I run Responsive now is because of two reasons. One, because people in this, like at least on console, do not like to play range with you. They will sit there and play, will run up to you with a house and just try and beam you down. So I felt responsive was better just to counteract that. And then second reason is oftentimes what would end up happening, you can even see it in my videos, I would pop my competent, get a kill, but then I'd have to swap to my finishing sidearm to get predatory determined, which would lose my competent. So I just felt it was better that I had a talent that could just be permanently active on my AR, and it made more sense in my head. You know, if you still want to run competent, great. It's still a great option, and I think you'll have just around the same success as you will with responsive. But for me personally, I choose responsive for those reasons. Now, the showstopper. Many people argue with me on Vicious. They say, Maze, run predatory. Here is why I don't particularly like predatory. I used to. In fact, when I first started out, you can even go back and see that I had predatory on the showstopper. But I moved away from it because I felt that the damage was a little so oftentimes you have, oftentimes I get my stacks on NPCs, but sometimes if I'm in a crunch, right? Sometimes you can't get stacks on NPCs. Sometimes you have to get it on a player. So, in my eyes, at least, it's better to have that burst DPS because oftentimes, since you have so much health with 9k stamina, 600,000 toughness, oftentimes players don't really burn your first segment that fast unless they're running like Banshee. So, oftentimes I can get decent use out of Vicious, get a bunch of damage off while getting more damage with my stacks, and then once I have enough stacks I can just swap to my AR and finish them off, right? But if you want to run predatory on this, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea, I just say personally I wouldn't do it. Just for that, because if I need predatory, I can just get the stacks off of this and then quickly double tap Y and just get it off of this, right? That's just my opinion though. Obviously, if you want to run predatory on this, I'm not saying it's bad, it's actually quite decent. I used it for a long time. But for those reasons, I run Vicious. Now, the sidearm, not Godroll. You want Sustained instead of Meticulous. I have not gotten one. I got one on PC, I just didn't get one on console because the game hates me over here. But yeah. This, I don't really think I need to explain this. This is pretty obvious if you're learning. Now, a lot of people ask me about the EDR. Let me quickly explain to those who don't know what EDR actually does. So EDR counteracts the damage from grenades for one part. So if you get hit with a frag grenade, you take less damage. And then EDR also counteracts the pred bleed tick. So it makes you take less damage from that. So because of that reason, I run a lot of EDR in this build. In fact, I think this character has 30,000 if I'm not mistaken. Let us check. Where would that be? Fuck, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's gonna be right here. Okay. So we scroll down. Here we are. 33. I have 33% exotic damage resilience. So that mitigates grenade damage and that mitigates pred tick. And since pred is a very popular build, you often need that thing to not have to waste a lot of medkits on it. Like, there's often times where I'll down a pred, he'll tick me, and then as long as I smack him with my sidearm and keep my stacks, I can just, sit there and out-heal his pred tick, despite it being 9k stamp pred. So, that's why I run so much of this. The disrupt resistance obviously is pretty low. If you can, you'd probably want to go disrupt resistance, shock resistance too. But it's whatever you can really. Like, this build is clearly not, fully optimized. This is clearly just a half decent striker build. If you have a fully optimized build, you're probably gonna do better than I will. But who knows, Alright. This, again, the only thing that people really question is the bleed, burn, blind death, which makes sense. Blind death is pretty useless because there's not really a time where you get flashbanged and it's like, oh my god, I can't do anything. No, you can still strafe, so it's what's the big deal? Same thing with bleed. It only counteracts the bleed from grenades, not pred bleed, like some people think. Bleed resistance does not affect that, so it's no. This is another point of contention, the crit hit damage. People say run health here. I will quickly explain why I don't do that. While 13,000 health is pretty good, and honestly, if you run health here, I wouldn't blame you. I actually wouldn't blame you. I'd say that's probably a worthwhile investment. The reason I don't run crit damage is there's often times where, because of my like 100 stacks, I burn a guy to 1 HP and he gets the medkit off. And if I had like more crit damage when I used to run health on this, when I had more crit damage, I probably would have won. Like, I probably would have killed him. So it's just there to be an extra bit of oomph, which is why I also run the crit chance on the assault rifle and the crit chance here. It just helps do that. So if that was your main question, if you want to run health here, absolutely. That is an excellent choice. But for me personally, I run crit damage. But, however, I will say, if you're running in a team, this crit damage might be better. If you're running solo, the health might be better. But for me personally, even though I run solo 90% of the time, crit damage to me just seems more worth it. That's just my opinion. Alright. That being said, the gloves. No one's going to argue here. I mean, come on. It's been the standard setup for years at this point. No one's going to question this, okay? Crit chance, again, I just explained it in tandem with the backpack. You know, the backpack has the capabilities of crit damage on it, so, you know, so I can just get more crit chance. And the reason I do that, and I will quickly explain, is if we go to my AR, and we go to my character section strength, you'll notice it has 30%. Alright, that's fine. So I get it to 30%, and then this pulse gives me 10%, which is 40%. And then if you notice, we have Vicious on there, which means that at full HP, and with my pulse active, I have 50% crit chance on a striker build. Which is, you know, it can happen, but on a solo striker build, not really. So this gives me 50% crit chance. So if I have 100 stacks with 50% crit chance, I'm more than likely at least getting a Nomad proc out of that situation. Which is very good. You want to take Nomad procs away from people as quick as possible. Because it either makes them rethink the fight, gets them a little scared, or if they rush you, they die. So, you know, that's my reason. That's my reason for running crit chance, crit damage on it. So you'll notice it comes out to what is effectively 50, 93, which, you know, isn't too much, but a standard Banshee build has like 130 on it. So, you know, it's only, you know, it's 40% off, so it's not terrible. Everything else is pretty much, you know, exactly as you would expect it. The talents, I mean, no one argues with me with this here. Some people argue booster shot, but I would only say booster shot if you're going to run house, which I will actually quickly explain my house. The house is Unforgiving Deadly. Obviously, you'd want to change to SMG gloves if you are going to run house, which is, I have these right here. If you are going to run house, change to SMG gloves and go for crit damage on them. But yeah, it's Unforgiving Deadly on my house, if that's what you're wondering. If you ever see me run a house, that is what I'm running. That is your concern. Okay. The talents. No one argues with me here besides the booster shot. The booster shot is only good if you're running house. So if you are running house, feel free to swap the booster shot. But even I won't sometimes. I just like the pulse too much. Just the ability to at least see people coming if they don't have a scrambler back is just so good. And then, you know, the box, obviously. The link, obviously. I mean, I'll quickly explain, but I mean, I feel like I don't even need the ability to get immune to status effects by just popping down your box is too good. And then, I mean, come on. Really? Like, I don't even think I need to explain this one. This is literally the best link in the game for solo play. These two don't even come close. Alright. Talents. Adrenaline. No one's surprised there. 7 seconds immunity from status effects on medkit. Critical save. Medkit low health. This is very good in tandem with Striker because of your healing. So if you pop it off, not only do you get 20% resistance from the damage that's incoming to you, but you also have this healing on top of it that already reduces a lot of the damage because you just heal it right back. So you're a tank when you have crit save active. I mean, you're a tank with 100 stacks and crit save active. I mean, it's very hard to die. Precision. Some people argue with me and say strike back, which isn't a bad idea, but I use precision because some people don't know this. Precision gives you the crit chance that your pulse normally gives you. That is how it works. It gives you the crit chance on that person. So that is why I run that. On the move, I mean, this isn't really surprising. You see how I do it in my videos. I'm normally at range and I beam someone down and I get the kill while I'm moving and I get on the move. So if I just kill a guy, you know, and then finish him off with shots before they can get a green off or a defib off, and then I can keep running. Not only do I have a shit ton of stacks, but I have on the move too. I mean, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. So, yeah. I mean, it's not, you know, not surprising. Yeah, so that's the entire build. If you'd like to change, again, what I said, go for it. By all means, this is just my personal preference of a build. And yeah. I just wanted to make this quickly for the guys that don't know. That do not know, that don't know, I didn't know what I had for a build. Because I didn't see the other video. And this is what I'm going to send people link to every time they ask for it from now on. Because I'm not making another one of these. This is the last one. So, yeah. Appreciate y'all. Full video should be hopefully coming soon. Catch you in a bit.